Hi, I'm here, and today I have a scary story for you called Whispers from the Drain. It was written by a Shakir, so let's jump right into it. I recently moved into this old apartment building. It's over 70 years old. The walls are paper thin. The apartment is huge, has high ceilings, hardwood floors, and is gorgeous. Every time I run the water, it sounds like someone is screaming down the drain. I tossed and turned all night and couldn't sleep. I thought nothing of it until one night I was brushing my teeth and I heard a whisper. I stopped and listened intently. There it was again. I couldn't quite make out what it was saying, but it sounded like a woman crying for help. It's very cheap too. It's in a terrible part of town, but that didn't matter. I couldn't resist the place. The drain was just gurgling like normal. I decided to fill up the sink with water and see if I could find anything. That night I slept in my office, which doesn't connect to the bathroom. As I did, the drain started making a gurgling sound again and the voice came back. All day I kept thinking about the voice and how it had seemed to be getting closer to me. This time, it was loud enough to hear over the TV. It started saying, "Let me out, please." Then I distinctly heard it say my name. "Let me out, name, please." The voice sounded desperate. That night I was so scared I didn't even bother to cook dinner. I just ordered pizza and watched TV and drank to calm my nerves. It was a lot clearer now. It said, "Help me." I pounded on it, but it was no use. I cautiously opened the door and stepped out into the hallway. Shaking and sobbing, I made my way to my apartment. I slid down the door, my back hitting the floor. Whatever was outside wanted to get in. I screamed and fell to my knees. The door slowly opened, revealing the hallway. The eye was gone. If they even heard me, they probably assumed it was just another crazy person living in that rundown apartment. They reached out, their gnarled fingers grasping at my face. I screamed and tried to scramble back, but it was too late. The hands pulled me forward and I tumbled through the doorway. Tears streamed down my face as I realized I was trapped. I could have sworn I saw the water in the sink rise and fall slightly, like something was trying to push itself up out of the drain. Why was it calling me? What did it want? A single eye was staring back at me from the darkness beneath the water. I screamed and stumbled back. The eye seemed to mock me, daring me to come closer. I don't know how long we stared at each other like that, but it felt like an eternity. The only problem is it has some serious plumbing problems. Sitting there wasn't going to help me. I had to fight whatever was in the drain. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. I hesitated for a moment, then slowly opened the door and stepped inside. Taking a deep breath, I grabbed a large frying pan and slowly made my way to the bathroom. Each step I took echoed in my ears. All day I couldn't stop thinking about the screams. That night I decided I wasn't going to let whatever was making those sounds win. I came home with a bottle of wine and a pizza and decided to have a feast in front of the TV. While ignoring the noise from the bathroom, I panicked and tried to get away. But as I turned to run, the bathroom door slammed shut behind me. I jumped and whirled around to find the door handle shaking violently. I could hear what sounded like fingernails scratching against the wood on the other side. I walked over to the sink and peered into the drain. Maybe the stress from moving and the strange noises had gotten to me. Perhaps there was nothing in the drain at all. Maybe I was imagining things. Everything appeared fine. That night I tried to sleep with the bathroom fan on to cover up the noise, but instead it just muffled everything and made the screams even scarier. The next day I got up and went to work. I sat there frozen in fear as the voice whispered repeatedly, "Let me out." Then it stopped. I waited, listening intently. When I didn't hear anything, I decided to go into the bathroom and investigate. Hours passed and I was getting away with it. The drain started whispering again, but this time it was different. I felt a sense of relief knowing that the bathroom was full of whatever it was, and that it didn't know that I was in the apartment. But then the unthinkable happened. It was no longer a muffled sound. It was clear as day. Sitting in my living room, I distinctly heard a raspy voice whispering, "Let me out." As I walked into the bathroom, I could have sworn I saw a shadow flicker under the water in the sink, but when I looked closely, there was nothing there. I screamed and ran out of the bathroom and didn't come back for hours. My blood ran cold. How did it know my name? In the morning after, of course, not sleeping at all, I went to work. Around midnight, the voice started coming from the drain again. "Help me, name. Please let me out." I froze and listened as the voice continued. "Help me, name, please." As the voice continued to call my name over and over again, I knew I had to do something. I quickly scanned the room, but everything seemed normal. The drain was just gurgling like usual. As I approached the bathroom, the voice grew louder. The voice suddenly stopped, but then I saw it. Then suddenly, the water in the sink began to rise rapidly, spilling over the sides. Terror gripped me as I realized the door was locked. I don't remember how long I stayed there, but eventually the scratching stopped and silence filled the bathroom. As I reached for the doorknob, the same eye that had stared back at me from the drain appeared in the peephole, staring directly at me. But as I looked back down at the door, I saw it again, this time accompanied by a pair of skeletal hands. The last thing I remember is feeling rough. What hands dragging me into the darkness? As I screamed for help, no one came. So did I mention that this is an old apartment building? Well, the neighbors are pretty old too. If you enjoyed this creepypasta, please stay tuned for more content like this. Thanks for watching.